Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Tatashi and today I am doing an unedited full tutorial walkthrough of Bikubot. If you saw the first version, you noticed that I shot that for TikTok and that it was very rushed and cut together. That's just how I had to do it for TikTok, but here it's going to be unedited and completely built from the ground up. First and foremost, Bikubot is a PNG bot TTS program, and the only way you'll be able to get it is through their Patreon. What you'll do is you'll come down to tier 3, and for $6.50 a month, you'll gain access to the alpha build section on their Discord. Once you join, you'll gain access to their Discord page, and then the alpha section will unlock over here. Furthermore, the other thing that you will need is going to be the OBS, pardon me, I'm still doing the older tutorial, the OBS WebSocket, which will gain access, like it basically let the program communicate to OBS. That's basically what it is for. There are two ways to get this. What you want to do is just go to obs.com projects, which I'll have the link below, click download. You want to scroll all the way down until you see this little section here. They have it for Mac OS, Windows, and then Windows Installer XP. I highly recommend doing the Windows Installer XP as it will actually put it into your plugins folder. However, if you need to put it in your plugins folder manually, what you will do is go to your C drive, go to your program files, and find OBS Studio, and your plugins folder will be located in there. You just drag and drop the unzipped zip file in there, and you're good to go. Once done, you will come over to OBS. Let me pull up your OBS. It has to be OBS. It cannot be Streamlabs OBS. Not only because Streamlabs OBS is absolute garbage, but also it's just easier to customize. If you're here, you're probably using OBS. If you're not using OBS, please switch over to OBS today. It only takes 5 minutes. You're going to come over to Tools, and you will see the option after you put the plugin in, after you reset, I should probably preference that, reset your OBS by just closing out and then reopening it after putting the plugin in. You'll see the WebSocket service settings. You'll open that up. It will provide you with this window. You're going to click Enable. Now you have your WebSocket on. You don't really have to worry about server ports and passwords unless you want to customize that. But for right now, that's set to default. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up Bikubot. So this is my Bikubot. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to settings. You're going to go down to accounts. These three things on the bottom are identifiers. The first one being your Twitch, your second one being your bot, and the third one being OBS. To access or to connect your Twitch, you are going to basically click connect. It'll pop up with the authorization. Hey, do you want this connect? Connect. And then the bot one is if you have a bot account that does like your posts and all that. I really don't, so I just relogged in as myself, and that's just what I did. And once you have that all set up, you will basically have these two sections lit up. In some cases, if these don't light up, you just have to go back to Twitch, deauthorize it, and then reauthorize it again, and you should be fine. This last one being for OBS goes back to your WebSocket. So what you want to do is create your WebSocket, and the moment you enable it, it should click on, you'll have this on. From this point further, I recommend backing up the bot in case anything were to happen. You have something to back up to. This is going on from like the moment you start doing this. And then if you need to import your bot to another computer or another Bikubot program, you can import it that way as well. It will provide you with a file that you can move the bot around, like all your settings. The next thing up that I recommend is hotkeys and enabling two buttons that any random key that you desire to be one of these commands. Skip sound and skip TTS. I really wish there was a just default like kill switch, but that's just not available at the moment as of creation. So what I did was I took two keys on my keyboard, dedicated to that for testing, and also if someone comes into chat and uses chat to spew hate. So I have control over the situation. There is a way to probably put it into like a Stream Deck or other programs, but I haven't reached that part of testing to get that done. The next major part in settings that you want to go to is going to be modulars. I usually skip the cooldown settings and the permission settings. I don't really mess with those. They're perfectly fine as default. The main thing that you need to focus on here is going to be your audio device and your text-to-speech settings. Your audio sound settings is going to be what you hear. What you hear. The text-to-speech settings is what the bot says. What the bot says. I have to preference this because those two things are very vital. You don't really have to mess with your sound settings as much as long as you set it to your speaker. Now, the real caveat is I have a program called Wavelink, which is designed for the Elgato Wave microphone. I have virtual audio channels where I can wire audio out. For me, I have dedicated my Bikubot to special effects audio out, which is this setting right here. So what you want to do is, if you have a Go XLR, or in this case, Wavelink, you want to make a separate audio channel for Bikubot. Now, if you don't have that, what I recommend is coming down to the bottom right-clicking, and I usually go to Sounds, which will pop up this menu. Go to Playback, and find an audio channel that you could use for Bikubot that isn't being used. I recommend creating a channel separate from your game audio or your desktop audio so that you have better control over it. So for example, I saw in one tutorial, you could set it up as my monitor. So if you have two monitors, you could set it up to your monitor. As long as you have sound coming out, you could hear it. But for him speaking, you need to pick a certain one because you're going to have to set it up a certain way in OBS. So once you do the text-to-speech settings and you pick a certain audio out, it will make sense when we get to OBS. So here in this default version of OBS, I shouldn't say default because I have those two things, we have a default start with a scene. We're going to hit the plus symbol at the very bottom of the scenes, and we're going to click add, and we're going to name this, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to name it Biku, but we're not going to use Biku in certain ways. You'll see, because I have a PNG that I use. All right, so we're going to name that Biku. And then we're going to come into the source for Biku, and we're going to add, or actually, no, I'm going to teach you how to do nesting so you don't have to ever worry about Biku as much. So what you want to do is go back to scene, hit the plus symbol, click scene, and you will see Biku is now here. Click Biku. So whatever you do in the Biku scene will show up in scene because you are nesting that scene. You will see when we get the PNGs in. So to add the PNGs, you're going to hit that plus symbol in sources for Biku. You're going to go to images. You're going to add an image. For me, it is going to be Bongo open because you're going to need two images. These two images are going to be your open and close, which you'll see in a second. So Bongo open. You just want to grab the file. It's going to take me all the way to my C drive. I have a demo folder open here. And then you're going to see when I click on scene, he's going to be right there. In your Bikubot scene, you want to kind of like stretch it, or you can right click on the image, go to transform, stretch the screen, and like fill up the whole screen. And then when you come back to whatever scene you're nesting him in, you can actually adjust him, for example, and whatever you do on Biku will stay there, but then you can nest it anywhere and adjust it to your liking. So again, if I'm not doing great at this, I do apologize. I am trying my best to get all this out in a timely manner, so we're not here for an hour. Next thing we're going to do is add the opposite. We need the control or the close. So I'm going to do bongo close. We're going to hit OK. We're going to find that image, and it's just going to be in this. Try to keep it in your a same folder, especially if you make any assets for the character. I made a couple skins. For example, this is for Data War, so I have that. So now you can tell there's two different versions of him. Make sure you line it up properly, because if not, the slightest offset, you will see it jitter. If you're going for kind of that that jitter vibe when it talks, that's fine. However, I don't really like it, so I usually try to match the images. What you'll do is hit right click on close, go to transform, go to stretch the screen. Now they look identical. And when I do this, when I turn open off with the eyeball, you can see that the mouth is opening. That is the goal with Bikubot, is you're basically going to be puppeteering it with the TTS program. The next thing you will do is you will come down to sources here on Biku. You're going to hit plus. You're going to hit add audio output capture. So we're going to set this up as Biku voice. Or in this case, I'm going to do bongo voice. I do apologize. Bongo voice. It's going to ask for a device. That device is your text-to-speech setting. Whatever audio device you selected, that's going to be your output channel. You're going to select that. For me, it is, of course, going to be the effects tab. Now, if you don't have an audio channel, but you selected a particular thing, like the TV I said, or the monitor, my bad. The monitor is right here. So, you just want to be able to select an audio device for the bot to speak through. And you're going to hit OK. You will see now that Bongo Voice has its own audio channel here in the audio mixer. To do this audio mixer vertically, all you would have to do is right click and you'll see vertical layout. This is OBS has this set to default, but what you want to do is right click vertical layout. Now it looks like an actual audio channel. From this point further, you're going to right click on voice. All of this is going to be done in voice. Go to filters. You will also see over here, right below the preview image, properties and filters. Click filters. Audio filters. You're going to hit the plus symbol or right click, have add, do audio move. Name your first audio, open. Name your second one, close. You need two. Now, we are at this section. What you're going to do is, I will have this right here on screen for you, but I will walk you through it, so don't worry. You will have to set it up for open and close with two differences. Now, I'm going to put this away and now walk you through it. But it's pretty straightforward that there are only two things that will change will be source and threshold action. Here, you probably see meter type magnitude. Leave it at that. Easing. Put it at a 2 or 2.00. For action, you see transform. Click it, switch to source visibility. Now it is adjusted. To scene, you want to select your Bikubot scene. For source, for open, you will click on, for me, it's going to be Bongo Open, or whatever you name your avatar. Threshold action will be enable over, disable under. And then threshold will be 2.00. Okay? For close, it's the same thing, but for brevity, I will walk you through it. Meter type is magnitude. Easing is 2.00. It just seems to be the proper thing to do for your bot. Action, source visibility, scene, BQ, wherever you put the Bikubot. Source, bongo close this time. Threshold action is going to be the opposite. You're going to want enable under, disable over. And then threshold 2.00. This should look like this now, as close is now active, but open is now closed. If you've done this correctly, I'm going to go over to my test command, and I'm going to hit play.
This is a test.
You see the audio going through OBS, you see these two moving, and you saw the lips move. Congratulations, you've now set up the bot. However, this is not the end of setting up the bot. In order to set up the bot to work like that, what you'll need to do is come over to triggers. In triggers, we have commands, timers, and points. Points will not be available to you unless you are a Twitch affiliate. A Twitch affiliate will have channel points available. Alerts will not be available to you as you have to be a Twitch affiliate. However, alerts are dedicated to when people send bits or cheers your way to the channel. But today, I'm going to teach you how to do commands because commands will be the easiest for you to learn. Once you learn the basics, you can import it into any one of the other ones, where if you want them talking during a timer or someone redeems points on your channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new one for you. And I'm going to just name this demo. I spelled demo backwards. I do apologize. So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to see all these actions on the right side. You are going to grab OBS, drag and drop. OBS controls. Source visibility is on by default. You're going to go to scene. Whatever scene you put Bikubot. So for example, BQ. For source, you're going to click on open. You can toggle it on or off. Now the other option you can do is actually add another one on top of it in case you need them to talk fast. For example, open, close. You could stack these actions together. But for me, I like to have them spread out in case I want to add different effects throughout my thing. I will show you in one of my examples later. But for right now, for the sake of the tutorial, we're going to leave open and close as separate actions. So, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to click pause and drag and drop it over from the right side. You're going to set it to 2. 2 seems to be the common thing that works for the bot. If you want to speak faster, go to 1. Highly don't recommend going above 5 for a pause unless you're like breaking a scene. Next thing you're going to do is come over to the right side and you're going to grab TTS. Now TTS has 3 options. It has an input, user message, which is when someone sends a message in chat, the bot will read it. I highly do not recommend that. I have it set for a channel point redeem for my channel. However, if you want the bot to say custom messages, or you have a custom script, like talking script that you want the bot to read, come over to messages, custom messages, and now you have a little text box to type in. You can, for user messages, click on limit character amount to prevent someone spamming the same word over and over. Now, the other option you have here that you can see is volume. Volume is defaulted to 50%. I usually ramp it up to 100 because I use Wavelength to control his audio. His, her, theirs audio. Also, to make sure that the bot can be heard over my voice and also the game audio. So we're going to have hello. And then I'm going to grab another TTS to show an example. Custom message, people. And we're going to bump that up to 50% as well. So the reason why I did 2 text-to-speech for this example is I'm going to teach you what this little button is. So for example, if you want to speak 2 different sentences, it will go like such. If you want it to eat its own words, for example, if it's going to interrupt itself, you will switch it to play. What it will do as this goes off, OBS will turn on its mouth, pause for 2 seconds to give it that time to turn itself on, and then speak. With the green button on, it will go speak. So I will show you with the test button located right here.
Hello.
People. See, now it's eating both of the words. With it yellow, pause, it will take a second to say the first sentence and then the second sentence. The key word I'm saying here is sentences, because if you fill this box up completely, the bot will have an issue speaking fluently. Especially when you switch the bot to different voices, it does have a problem. So try to, like, when you're writing a script out for the bot to say something, to spread it out. You will see in a couple examples towards the end of the tutorial. But I switch it to yellow. It's on pause now. What it will do is say each piece. Hit the test button again.
Hello, people.
Now it sounds like a bot. All right, so furthermore, I'm going to delete people now with the trash can button right here. Delete that. So now, how do I get it to reset and close its mouth? So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to actually put OBS, scene, Biku. I have bongo closed, but that's how you would basically set it up. Now, for example, if you wanted it to do a chat message, there is a text. You would drop that and then type something in, and then right after it says hello, it will send a message in chat on your stream for that person. I cannot get randomizer to work, and sound is a little bit more complicated, as I've tried to get sound audio files to work a certain way. However, I'm hoping in the future these things do change. That's pretty much it for your default understanding and learning how to set up the bot. Now I'm going to move on to some examples that I have. If in some case you need to test again, test button is right up here. But before you leave the section, make sure you hit save as a little floppy disk. You can also import and export your settings as well. But from this point further, I'm going to delete the demo as I have my own test version. And it will basically wipe all settings right here in case you need to delete. So first things first, we're going to do Bapple. So to do Bapple, I use Liv. I love the Norwegian lady voice. But I have it set as TTS, open, wait 2 seconds, says message, pause for a second, says next sentence, pause for a second, says next sentence, and then we'll do 2 lines of talking. So this is how the joke will work.
I fjorspill eplesaus. Vitambi. Jo kolkalitbaplesaus. Du.
That's how that joke works. Now, in order for your chat to use it, you must set up a command trigger, which is basically exclamation point, a word. This is what causes the Twitch chat to recognize a command, and any bot program you have will trigger it. So if you use Mix It Up, for example, Mix It Up, you program a lot of stuff through it. Even if you use, I think Nightbot, Cloudbot, what was the Stream Elements bot, they have like certain things where if you were to do Discord or socials, it would send a message out, basically. But by doing that in chat, it would trigger Bikubot to say that line. The other one I have is, let's see what I can do. When someone requests snacks, So what it would basically do is it will send a chat response. So if somebody wants snacks,
Sushi.
and then on screen the the emote I have for snacks blows up because I have another program for an overlay, and then in chat you'll see I have given people in chat snacks, which is in the upper left corner of the screen. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about timers. Timers are pretty straightforward, as you basically set it to a certain amount of time. So we're going to talk about doing, I'll do votes. Votes is pretty straightforward. I've heard it a dozen times, but it works. So you have two options. You have seconds and minutes. Why is it, developers, why is it when I get to this section, you make me eat my own words? I originally thought it had seconds, but now it has hours and minutes. Any which way, you set up the timer to what you want. I have votes set to 20 minutes to remind chat that, hey, I have a straw poll. Here are the games that I would like to play on stream. Which ones are you interested in? And then I collect that data and then compare what I could do for the next week. So far, that also helps with our community days as well, as people would like us to do more community days. But again, what you'll do is bongo opened, or your bot. So I'll just try to say bot this time. Bot open, pause for 2 seconds, message, pause for 2 seconds, chat response, message, pause for a second, chat response, message, and then you close. So you'll see this happen on screen. So what it will do is I'll hit play for test.
Tateshi, hvor liker jo to vote for games som stream. Strapol link below. VR Gamesball. Noen VR Gamesball.
Now that is how I set up vote for my channel, so like I can get people to see what content they want me to do on the channel. So that's how that works. Now, pretty straightforward. Like I said, if you understand the first part where I was talking in commands, you'll be perfectly fine. Now for channel points though, channel points are a little bit complicated. You have to build the channel points inside Bikubot for the bot to speak. For example, fish, stop, sushi time, all those do not have this little B next to them. This B is controlled by the bot. You must build it in Bikubot for it to work as a channel point. You cannot go to Twitch and make a channel point and then integrate it in. It's a weird thing. I don't know why. I think it's more on Twitch's end than Bikubot's end. But what you'll do, we will do, for example, which one? I'll do I Want Sushi. I Want Sushi is a good one. So for 100 points, you'll see redeem title, I Want Sushi. That is the title that you will see on the Twitch. Costs 100 points. You're going to use points. You can also do bits or custom commands and all that, but honestly, points is fine. What you'll do is require user input. You don't have to worry about that. That's if you want them to have a message. I enable a cooldown. I enable a limit so you can request snack or request that you want sushi once per stream. I can click on the skip request queue so it can just skip it. And then the description is you can order some sushi. And then underneath this little section, you set up your bot. So it will be bot open, wait 2 seconds, message, close, pause for 5 seconds, and then the message will show up on the chat response. So we're going to hit test, and I'm going to show you again.
Som Johan has requested some sushi, Takeshi. I will serve it up.
And ding! There you go. Now the message shows up for the chatter. However, if you notice, while it was reading it, it was starting to break down some words. This was one of those good examples that I have on my channel where if you put too much in the text-to-speech section, the bot will have a hard time reading it. It's not Bikubot's problem, it's just the bot program itself. It's the API of it. I'm assuming it's API. Nevertheless, kind of just split up your sentences a little bit so that the bot sounds kind of fluent or like it's speaking correctly. Because if you just throw everything, like if you were to take lyrics of a song and just throw it in there, it will not read it properly. So you just kind of want to pace out your bot a bit. All right. So that is it for that one. I also have, as another joke, I have, let's see which one I want to use. I think it's a good time to show Surf's Up, and then I'll do the Rogue one. So, for example, for this, it is for 10 points, Surf's Up. You can only use it on stream 5 times, limit of 5, and what happens is high tide comes in. Now, you won't see it on the demo, but of course on, I think it's activated on, no, it's not. I will activate that here. Do a quick switch real quick. Okay, so now it should be activated on the actual video for you. So, in order for this to work, what you'll do is bot open, pause for 2 seconds, message, bot close, pause for a second, bot open, message, close, 1 second, pause, open. And then this is where a good example of nesting a lot of, or putting stuff together, is the moment Surf comes up, I actually cover up Bikubot and the screen with the Surf layer, which is basically what, like I said, you would have to nest stuff. So what we'll do for this, I'll just say Surf. And then just put something in here. Let's just put another Bikubot in here. This time, I'm going to flip them upside down for you. There you go. So then in here, boop, add scene, surf, boop. Wait, where did it go? Where did it go? Add scene, surf. Why is it? Okay, you know what? I'll just show you on, I can't stand when things don't work properly. So I will show you on my OBS. Panic. So on this section right here, because I have it set to studio mode, I have all these grayed out as this is what's going to activate as an alert. They have their own little section here dedicated to their alerts. So what will happen is you will basically activate it through Bikubot, which would activate that scene, and then you'll cause it to happen. So I will walk through this again for you, but I will wrap this up as quick as possible. So you'll have, after you have them activate the scene, you're going to have the text-to-speech again, and then you're going to have the close. You're going to pause for 3 seconds to have the scene show on the screen, and then you're going to deactivate them. So what you're going to do is I'm going to show you the test, and then a lot of this will visually be explained.
Ufuk. Pikaku sad surf. Surfs UP.
It didn't go off. Why? I keep changing it. That's probably why. Or did I not activate it on the right layer? No, it's activated. Switch back. Try again. This time I'm going to click on, where is it? That. That's strange. Maybe because I didn't put it in this. No, it should be right. But the wave will go across the screen. So let me see the next one. But you would basically have it turn on, and then it would cover up the screen and have Pikachu surfing. All right, Rogue Cat is one of the ones that is complicated that I don't fully have like working. But for 200,000 points, I do have requires input. This is one of those highlight messages on screen. The bot will read it. It says hack the stream mainframe and control Bongo. Currently only messages. One use as Bongo will patch you out. No self-promo or slurs. You will be banned. and then it will read a message. It will play a sound of Windows shutting down. The user's message is supposed to go here, and then it will have a boot up sound. So I don't know if this one's going to work, as this one's still being demo tested.
Takeshi, som Uan has redarmed the hacker gaud to me I min. I am corrupted. Going to reboot.
Yep.
Alrighten back what did I miss?
So this one's still being worked out on, but it was supposed to start the sound, then have have users message, and then shut down again, like wait 2 seconds, play that sound, and then be right back. But I think I was integrating also another pop-up of like the blue screen to go off, but I'm still working on it. But for 35 minutes, I think that's pretty much it for the full tutorial. Again, if there's any questions, I'm readily available in the comments to help out as best as I can. So I hope this worked out. I hope I explained it pretty well. It's pretty straightforward. Once you learn the first section with the commands, you can start doing a lot of crazy stuff like I did here. So thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, guys, love each other. We also have a TikTok and a Twitch, mostly on Twitch. My schedule for that is always posted in the Discord, and also Linktree for the links.